Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name's Dennis Den. I'm in studio with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dorian here.
And we got Josh. Josh is back.
That's right. I'm back.
And we're here talking about the kind of latest news in gaming, what we've been playing, any kind of discussion topics. I think the big news this week, it is, but this is kind of the thing I want to talk to you guys about. So Gears 5. Big exclusive Xbox, Microsoft game comes out. Xbox One, also on the PC, comes out. We're actually recording this a day early because I'm not going to be in. So it comes out September 5th, tomorrow. But if you look around, it's like, well, actually, the release date is September 10th. And tomorrow, September 6th, that's the release date if you pre-ordered it, or if you had, I think if you have Gamer Pass or whatever. Like, there's all these like, okay, it's out, but it's not. It's that whole confusing thing. Again, reviews have been pretty positive from what I've read and watched of videos. They say it's, obviously it's a Gears game, so they don't deviate too much from it, but that they've, focused a lot more on the story and the characters and making it a little more, I guess you become more involved with that versus, obviously people love the action and the combat and whatnot. And also just the combat itself, especially the areas they've opened it up so that there's more wide areas, more open exploring instead of just tight-knit maps or whatever. That's kind of the things that I got from it. What have you guys been hearing about Gears 5?
So the only Gears I ever played, full disclaimer, was Gears of War 3, which combat-wise, I love the game combat-wise, but it's a bad jumping off point for the story, so I wasn't too invested in the story. But from my recollection of playing that game, the acting was amazing. That was for sure. So I can see how the story is a big part for people. But I love the gameplay. I love the cooperative side of it as well. Also kind of reminds me of Army of Two in a sense. If anybody ever played that game, great game. But yeah. So other than that, I've been reading up a lot about it and looking at a lot of stuff, and I think I'm most excited for the gameplay changes they made because it is. When did Gears 4 come out?
Oh, I can't think, but it's funny because this is Gears 5, but it's actually the 6th Gears of War game because they had Gears of War Judgment that was after 3 but before 4.
Right.
So technically the 6th Gears of War game, but I think it's Gears 5.
I think it's a 12-year brand. It's been out for 12 years. 12 or 13 years.
Which is actually not that long if you think about it. If they're already on...
The 6th one?
6th one.
Yeah.
It's one of the Microsoft's few exclusives. Obviously, they're changing that for the next generation. But, you think of exclusives for Xbox, you're thinking Gears and you're thinking of Halo.
Gears and Halo, yeah.
Dorian, what do you think? And also, what do you think about this whole pre-order? You got to play a week early.
I don't know. We kind of the last time the first thing that I was thinking about when you told me that I was like, oh, we have another Anthem type.
Yeah.
But not to that
extent. It's not as bad.
Like some people at least are getting it, but I've been seeing a lot of hype, especially on social media. I know I saw you online, but yeah, just a lot of hype, especially when Dave Bautista made that big announcement that he was joining. So I was like, oh wait, this might actually, because I personally, like Josh, I never really was like a Gears fan, but since the hype, since we saw stuff at E3 and stuff, I've been like, all right, maybe this is something I should actually maybe keep on the radar. But my boy Dave Bautista, I'm a big fan of his, even though he's been acting wild on Twitter lately. But I still support him. So I think I might actually want so the reviews I've seen so far, like you said, have been pretty positive overall. So I'm kind of gearing towards, no pun intended, maybe making a purchase as soon as I get my Xbox situation resolved.
My issue with the people playing early is the progress that they make. Is multiplayer live from day one tomorrow?
I'm not 100% sure.
Because I know they changed up the multiplayer system to be kind of similar to almost like a battle pass kind of thing that they're doing. Kind of like Call of Duty, where it's like you level up and you get new items, new weapons. So I'm wondering if that's going to put the people who pre-ordered it at an advantage for multiplayer.
Well, that's my guess. I'm guessing. Why would you, pre-order and then not be able to play multiplayer and get a head start? is a little different than, I mean, they do have the Gamer Pass thing, but then they also have the pre-order thing, which the pre-order thing doesn't actually cost you any extra money, at least not that I know of.
It's just you were supporting them before the time.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
Where the Anthem one was like, okay, you got to be a subscriber to their EA Access thing, and then
you still had to buy it. Or
yes.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah. So as far as I know, I could be wrong. I don't think that's the case. Where Gamer Pass, you do have to subscribe, but you also have the option of just pre-ordering it. Horde mode is back.
Yeah.
Which I remember that was very popular. They actually borrowed that for Halo. I forgot they called it something else. Why am I blanking on the name? But they called it something else, and they brought it into Halo as well. They have a new escape mode, which looks pretty cool. I know Caboose played that when he was at E3 with us.
Oh, during the session, yeah. Oh,
yeah. And most of what I've been hearing is that people were expecting just another Gears, like Gears 4 Redux for Gears 5, but they said there was actually enough new in it that made it feel not completely fresh. Obviously, you're still going to have the same gameplay mechanics and whatnot.
The best relation I saw for it was, I think someone said that it's kind of like the new God of War. Like, you're still getting that old God of War experience, but you're also getting a whole bunch of new experiences with it,
Yeah, I mean, that's how you keep the
franchise fresh.
People, obviously, we don't know Halo Infinite, how that's going to be received, how good it is, because it's not coming out for at least, another year or two? I guess a year, I'd say.
Probably about a year.
Yeah.
With the launch end of the year next year, probably. Yeah.
But they're kind of saying, like, oh, Gears temporarily has stolen the mantle of the, because Halo has been known as the top exclusive franchise for Xbox, and Gears has temporarily taken that mantle as Halo 5 wasn't as well received as previous Halos, and we'll see once Halo Infinite comes out.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, when was the last Halo game? I know we spoke about this a couple weeks ago.
I want to say 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be the most latest exclusive that they have.
Yeah.
At least for the next, like we said, year, maybe year and a half. Yeah.
Basically, they were saying that Gears 5 as a sequel to Gears 4 was much more successful than Halo 5 was to Halo 4. So, but yeah, Dave Bautista, he's a playable character. He's been campaigning to play Marcus Phoenix for a long time, and this is kind of, I guess, the second best. Yeah, the second best thing is like, okay, he gets to be a character, a down-level character. Now, this is something of a side note. I kind of threw this in here. I don't think you guys got this, but so Ninja, who we all know, it moved over from Twitch and a big deal to Mixer. Obviously, it was, money was involved.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He streamed Gears 5, I think, was it yesterday or the day before? And so some people are like talking about the ethics of it because it's not disclosed whether he was paid to play the game or is it part of his contract or whatnot.
Oh, it's Microsoft.
Yes,
I didn't put two and two together.
They're basically saying, look, if he was still on Twitch, there's no way he would have
gotten the early access,
and he also wouldn't have been able to, they wouldn't have allowed him to stream. Like, what do you guys think?
I don't know. Did he? So he didn't have a little hashtag ad or anything in the. If he didn't publicly display ad or anything like that, then I think that is a little sketchy because if you're streaming on Mixer, Microsoft owns Mixer, they own this game.
It'd be different rules on Mixer, wouldn't it? Because I know on YouTube you have to say.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't necessarily. Yeah, but I think it has to be across any platform. I'm not sure it would be directly on the stream or something, but if he didn't have it in the description or something hey, this is a sponsored post, and that's. I'm pretty sure that's legal, but if it's just him saying hey, I'm just casually playing on. They decided to give it to me early, but I decided to casually stream it on Mixer. Then that's a different thing. But it's
apparently
I don't know.
Nothing has been disclosed in terms of what he
didn't even talk about it. He was just streaming it, just playing it. I mean, look, they obviously paid a lot of money to get him onto Mixer. You know what I mean? More than we could possibly imagine. And this is just one of the. I'd imagine not just a benefit, but also one of the things he has to do. And this is just, it's going to...
In his contract.
Exactly. Depending on how long his contract's signed, I'd imagine he's probably going to get the new Halo sooner as well, you know? But I mean, yeah, it has to be a Microsoft
was
deal,
he
right?
Was he like saying positive things about it while he was playing? Because if he was just like playing, just like giving his general reactions and not like saying, "Oh, this is the best Gears ever," stuff like that. If he wasn't doing any of that and he was just like playing as like just a fan,
rather than overhyping it,
then I think it's fine. But you know, I don't know. I'm in the middle on it just because it's like you said, they did give him a chunk of change to go over on Mixer. So if I'm Microsoft and I have an early game, I'd be like, yeah, Mixer, you're gonna play this video game whether you like it or not. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting.
And I'm sure it's not like he's being, playing something that he wouldn't normally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as far as I know, I'm sure he's a fan. I know he's a huge fan of Halo, so I'd imagine he's probably a fan of Gears too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've added a lot. Like, I know we're going to talk about it eventually, but the companion robot that they've added in, that definitely changes up the game completely in terms of gameplay mechanics. Jack, I think it was called. Yeah. I'm interested to see what that's like to have your companion robot. It picks up weapons for you while you're fighting, which is cool. So you don't have to focus on running around picking up new weapons. It can go pick up the weapons for you. It can unlock safes for you. You can upgrade your robot. It has its own skill tree, I believe. So you can get abilities like Flash Blind, which I'm guessing is like a flash grenade, but the robot just goes. It can revive your team members when you're down. It can cloak you, I believe. A bunch of cool stuff. So that's pretty much changing all. And I believe that's just for the campaign though.
Okay.
That's changing the entire gameplay mechanics, which I love. You know what I mean? It's adding a whole new element in there, more of like an RPG element for grinding it, which is cool.
Yeah. Gears 5 came out. Yeah, coming out. Is out. I don't know, depending on what you
when
did to purchase.
When you're watching
this and when you purchased it,
I am really looking forward to the multiplayer. I will say that. I'm genuinely I think I never played Gears 4, but after reading up on the multiplayer, I really want to try it out because they've added so much more where each character has abilities now, which is quite cool. And I really enjoy any kind of progressive system in any game because it urges me to play more and get better. That was one of the things with when Fortnite first came out and they put the battle pass in. That was the first time I ever had a game motivate me to keep playing it. You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh, I really want to unlock this thing. I got to keep going. So I'm excited to see that element in Gears 5 for sure.
I'm not excited. Like I said, I brought this up last time. The thing about multiplayer is you got to have friends, my guy. Can't play. I'm play with some randoms.
I just read those reports online. They did a poll of millennials. 22% have 0 friends or something like that. I was like, what the hell is going on?
I'm in that 22%.
And they're 30% don't have best friends, and I'm 20-something%.
I keep inviting you to play D&D, Dorian.
That's true. I don't know how to play.
That's all right. We'll teach you how to play D&D. It'll be easy, man.
Yeah. I know. When I listened to that poll, I was like, what? What is going on?
It kind of makes sense, though, I guess, because we're all glued to our screens,
I don't know. Maybe because I grew up in, before. I grew up in a time before the internet. And then the internet came, and it just, helped.
All my friends are online because I know whoever watches sometimes will go salty, be like, "Oh, I thought we were friends." And online friends are in real life friends too. Just don't have. I don't know. Don't have either. Sorry.
You'll have somebody to play with as soon as I get myself an Xbox.
Yeah. Well, speaking of multiplayer, Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer confirmed, which is interesting because. One, I didn't know they were going to have a multiplayer. I know there was a lot of.
I didn't think they were going to.
And then and two, how does that work in this open? It's like having Fallout having multiplayer, which Fallout 76 is, but that was a completely different game. It's like Fallout 4, Fallout 3, suddenly having multiplayer. In it, I mean, they're we know that they're definitely in the infant stage of multiplayer because they're still hiring people to work on the multiplayer. They put out a job listing for 10 positions, I think. So we know that they're still at its infant stage if they're hiring people for it. And they said that they're going to be doing it after post-launch. Yeah, definitely.
After a couple of free DLCs, make sure the single-player experience is perfect. I don't know. Like, what are they like? The only thing that I can think of that could work is if they go the GTA Online route.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that could be quite cool. Or is it going to be like team deathmatch kind of things? I'm not too sure.
But the game doesn't seem to lend itself to a team deathmatch battle royale style, right?
GTA Online would be the only like kind of like that kind of thing is the only thing that would work for me. You know what I mean? Have like a lobby of like 32 people maybe per map or something.
Like Red Dead is.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe that's how it is. You wander, you pick a different city or town, and then you go around there. And I don't know what your objectives are other than trying to kill other people.
I mean, I think we're gonna get it. Maybe not within the first year of this game coming out. I don't think we're gonna get multiplayer. Like maybe at the end of that first year of the game coming out, we'll get multiplayer because they're gonna want to solidify a lot of things. You know
a battle royale mode would be dope, like with your individual character, your own individual characters. They just do it like you solo round. You don't have a team, like everybody for themselves, because like you're gonna have your own set of skills that you've built up. Or maybe even, they start you scratch and you build it up.
I was gonna say that's a cool idea.
The battle royale, like how you want to approach.
Yeah.
I think that'd be dope.
Like all the boxes you loot and stuff. It's new upgrades. You upgrade. You keep going. I like that. That could work quite well. Yeah.
It's also confirmed is all the cutscenes are in first-person mode, so it's not going to cut to.
I figured that was going to happen.
It won't cut to a cinematic.
Yeah, I figured that would have happened though. That's
I mean,
like,
some do, some don't. I mean, I remember the original Half-Life was a pioneer of that, where it kept all the kind of story elements all still in first-person mode, so that you were essentially playing.
It's
the story.
It's more immersive, yeah. A lot more immersive.
You don't get a cinematic because you are controlling the camera shot versus
correct
the developer, the programmers, the designers.
One of the interesting things that they brought up, I guess, if the entire game is in first person, and we know that there's going to be sex in the game, it means all the sex is going to be first person, which is going to be interesting.
Or is it going to fade to black?
Or who knows? I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. Didn't they
you don't
also
think they'll fade to black, or you don't think they'll show the?
I think they'll show a good amount before fading to black. If anything, if The Witcher's taught me anything, like they can get quite spicy, and they're not afraid to get spicy.
Well, they are European. So.
Correct. They removed gender, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
we talked about that last week.
Oh man,
that was with Mari. Oh yeah.
Well, that was with Mari. Well, we talked about it
because we're filming on Thursday.
Yeah.
Whole week's messed up.
Oh man, I'm happy about that though, for sure.
I mean, you still can make a man. I mean, you can still make a woman. It's just that there's no set man and woman. You can put a woman's, face on a male body and vice versa.
Which I think that's really cool. Yeah.
So.
All about inclusivity.
Yeah, and then of course there's the backlash, but not going to do anything.
There was backlash?
Dude, come on, man.
I mean, well, I guess it is a controversial topic.
In this world,
there's always going to be backlash, man.
The backlash about we talked about before, the Borderlands 3 thing.
Oh, yeah. That was, what a stupid.
Yeah, so the Borderlands 3 one's not going to hurt the sales. The Cyberpunk 2077 is not going to hurt the sales.
Not. There's so much hype around this game right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think much can affect the sales of Cyberpunk. Even that first, billboard that came out where they had the trans person and then the trans community was fuming. We're already past that. No one's talking about it anymore. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be the same thing with whatever people are fighting back with now. It's
just a little bit of noise, and then it dies down a little bit of noise, and then... once it drops, it breaks April? Records.
Well, remember the Captain Marvel backlash against Brie Larson, and then it made over $1 billion.
You're adding to the flame. It's just
we're still gonna make money. They're still gonna make money. Yeah, you're marketing.
You're giving it free promotion.
And then I'm gonna boycott that. Well, good luck for you.
Mate, we got $1 million.
Who's the real winner? We're all talking about it right
now. Other news, actually a lot of Nintendo Switch news at a Nintendo Direct. I wanted to get your opinion on this, Dorian. Overwatch.
I know. As soon as I saw that news, I was like, it's time. Because
I know you've been waiting to get a Nintendo Switch, but you haven't gotten it.
I've been waiting, and I made the foolish purchase. Because I needed new headphones. My headphones are ripping, so I got new headphones instead of a Nintendo Switch. But the Switch is the next purchase. As soon as I saw that Overwatch news, I was like, bro, I could take Overwatch on the go. They're really trying to get me now. So I was ecstatic about the majority of the news that we got from Nintendo Direct.
$40.
$40,
so not too expensive.
Not too expensive. And I think that Overwatch already is it's like the graphics aren't I'm not like super out of this
Nah,
world. But
you don't play Overwatch for the graphics.
Exactly. So like, if I can have this on mobile, I was already sold on getting Nintendo Switch, but
you're not getting the Lite. You're getting the real Switch.
I'm getting the real
Switch.
Like I said, we've already had the Lite Switch. That is a PSP. This is a better one. So I'm trying to get the actual Switch before I get actual Lite. So we'll see. Moves will be made. Nintendo, help your boy out. I've been asking every episode.
Yeah. Make that too.
Yeah.
Help us out.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy coming to the Switch and PS4. Xbox in the dark here. They're not getting any. That kind of came out of nowhere, at least for me. Like, these are two games that were in the past, and they decided to bring it to the Switch and PS4.
Which two were those again?
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah.
And Jedi Academy.
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I freaking loved that game.
Which one?
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I played so much of that game on PC.
But it's Jedi Knight 2 and not the first one. I played the first one. I didn't play the second one. But I'm wondering. I wonder if it's backwards compatible on Xbox, and that's why they don't bother making it for it.
That's a good question. I mean, that's exciting news for me in general, because that just gives me throwbacks to when I used to meet up with my friends, get our computers in the basement, LAN, and then just mess each other up with lightsabers. Those are the days, man. So that's quite cool. I think that's
interesting
awesome.
too, because this was before EA had the exclusive license on there. Jedi Knight 2 was on the original Xbox. I don't know if it's backwards compatible, because some games are, some games aren't, and they go to 360 and then also way back to the original Xbox as well. So, yeah, it's interesting. So if you want to get your Star Wars fix or nostalgia fix of Star Wars games of the past,
and I highly recommend it if anybody hasn't played Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
I will add that to my.
That's a great game, great multiplayer game as well. Well, yeah, don't we have the SNES collection coming to Switch as well?
Yeah, that's
today.
But it's if you're subscribed to whatever Switch Online service, which I assume is kind of like Xbox Live Gold or something like that. So you're not paying for the games. It's just if you're a subscriber, you got to play those 20 games. I think it's 20 games.
Pretty big list.
Damn.
Yeah. And other news, I know we didn't add this to it, but Torchlight 2 is coming to consoles this week, either today or tomorrow. I played the crap out of the first Torchlight on PC.
Why does that name sound familiar? What do you have to do in that game?
It's similar to Diablo.
Okay.
In a sense, very similar to Diablo. I'd imagine Torchlight 2 is probably just better graphics, because the first one had very cartoony graphics. It was a fairly cheap game when it came out as well. I enjoyed playing it, but only because it was killing time before the new Diablo. But yeah, Torchlight 2 coming out to Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox, I believe, this week, today or tomorrow, which is a cool action RPG,
Yeah. Some of the SNES games, Star Fox of note, Super Mario Kart,
oh hell yeah,
the OG one, F-Zero.
I loved F-Zero.
Super Mario World, Super Metroid. And there's a bunch of other ones as well, but those are the kind of the ones that stood out to me. But yeah, it's gonna be on Nintendo Switch Online starting
today.
Yeah.
Today
or tomorrow, depending on when you listen to this.
No, isn't it?
Well, it's gonna go
or yesterday, I guess. Today or yesterday, depending on when this comes out.
Yeah.
The 4th.
Yeah.
Which was already yesterday?
Oh, sorry.
Today's the 5th.
Yeah,
the
5th. Yeah, so it came out today.
Yeah.
Came out today. Yeah, it's interesting. Like when they have those value adds for services, it's like I wonder if those really keep people who this are gonna drop out or people who aren't subscribed jumping on. I mean, it must, right? If they're gonna invest, it's not like a ton of money, but they're investing some sort of money into getting these old games, retro games on their system.
A lot of people wanted this. When the Switch initially came out, this was something that I know a lot of people wanted. So they're definitely making a lot of people happy. Surely they're going to get more subscribers for it. I already know that later today I'm going over to a friend and we're probably going to download or pay for some of these SNES games.
Okay.
So you can purchase these games individually on the
if they're smart, they did
program.
Like I would imagine if they're smart, they did that where you can buy them for like $1 a game. Or something.
That would make sense.
You know what I mean?
Instead of instead of making somebody actually sign up for a whole membership,
or like at most maybe $5 for one of those
or
games,
a value pack or something like that. That'd be dope.
Value pack would be a sweet idea. Yeah.
Hey, Nintendo, bring me on board.
But I mean, this is a it's like Gamer Pass or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so you can play.
But so it's only available if you have that Nintendo Pass.
Yeah, I don't know how much their thing is. I mean,
it just became a lot more worthwhile. That's for sure.
Well, I don't know how much it is. Maybe it's $10. Then you pay $10 for the month, and you just play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
For that amount of time, and it's not like those games. None of them are like super long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the ones you probably be playing the most are like the ones like Mario Kart, where it's kind of just endless. You just keep playing and playing and playing.
I mean, most of those games you can play in a web browser on your laptop, anyways.
Yeah. New Outer Worlds trailer came out. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek, very Fallout. I mean, the game is already very Fallout esque. This trailer is also like, has that same feel where it's like they're telling you to join the Halcon company and like work for them,
evil corporation essentially.
Yeah, but in the guise of like, hey, go do this, and you don't need to be that smart to do. It's just a kind of fun thing just to show you the different worlds and different things you can do.
I was about to say, definitely, it showed a lot of the world building for sure, and you can tell how much effort that they put into the world building specifically, and the atmosphere of things, which I like.
Coming out in October, I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm just wondering how is it going to be another 80-hour experience? I mean, that's how all the Fallout games.
I was gonna say, I hope so. Like, I if anything, I'm hoping at least 60. You know what I mean? But like, I see this at worst case scenario being 40 hours of gameplay. Anything less than that, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Are these the same people that made?
They made Fallout New Vegas, and then they also had some of the original
from Fallout 1 and 2, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've only played just a tad bit of Fallout 4, and then
it's the same gameplay mechanics.
So kind of reminded me of like that kind of, and a little bit of Borderlands, and just a tad bit, a little bit.
The vibe is very like Borderlands.
That's kind of what I got. So I'm like, I'm down.
Especially with the new trailer for this, I'm kind of getting a Borderlands vibe from it. With the new trailer.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, I think in previous episodes, so Obsidian, who developed it, got bought by Microsoft. So this will be the last multi-platform game that they do. I'm sure Outer Worlds 2 will be like a Microsoft Xbox 2 or whatever they want to call it, the next Xbox exclusive. Speaking of a lot of online or hours of play, so Red Dead Online, they released a trailer for a new online DLC called Frontier Pursuits, and it's like I saw people in the comment section complaining because they were like, apparently there was a fake single-player DLC, like was in existence. People were like, it was fake to make it look like they were working on one.
And they really wanted it.
Yes, and so they were complaining about it in the comment section of this trailer and talking about like how they don't want this.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have almost dipped on the whole online experience as a whole for Red Dead. So I know that they probably do. They would much rather want the DLC for the story mode.
But I mean, the game was 80 hours long. I mean, would I want one? Sure, and I play it, but I'm not going to complain about a game that basically over-delivered in terms of hours of gameplay.
For sure.
Like,
well, the campaign is flawless. It's perfect. I wouldn't like. I never got to finish it because it was just. I know
80 hours, and that was.
I haven't finished it
it's
either.
Also, you have to be very patient with that game. It's like they went too realistic, which is awesome, and I think that's what people loved about it. But for me, I was like, I didn't have the time to walk.
For me, I focused on just the main storyline.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I couldn't. I had to do every single little thing.
That's the thing is when you start doing all the other stuff, you get distracted, and then like if you go fishing or go play poker or do all that stuff, then
and
it's
you
like
forget what you're doing eventually. Exactly, you're just living the life of this cowboy.
Yeah, I was like, no, this main storyline. This is what I'm doing. and even that took me 80 hours.
Oh man,
Still haven't finished. That'll
How
be
far? How far are you?
So the last part I remember, because I haven't played in a minute. The last part I remember is, I guess the old girlfriend or the lover, you have to go save the brother from like this.
The cult,
the cult or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's where I was at, and then saved him, and then that's where I haven't touched it since.
Sounds like you're probably like a third.
Yeah,
the
like
way
something away.
I think
yeah,
you're about a third
I'll
away.
I'll get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, even though it's been out for
It's
almost
an
a year.
awesome game. I love
what
it.
a beautiful game, man. Even the random encounters that I'm just thinking of now. Like I once bumped into the Ku Klux Klan, and that was just funny, man.
Yeah.
they burnt themselves by accident. I was just watching them, and they were doing like a cross burning, and then someone got a quote on their cape, and that was hilarious. I didn't even have to do anything. They essentially killed themselves.
And I heard if you go shoot them, you get, like how you have the good and bad meter
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
You don't get any negative points for shooting them.
because they're racists. They deserve it, man.
So yeah, I just thought that was funny. It's like, here's this like DLC, and then people are crying and complaining.
I'm
about
surprised they're still trying to salvage it. To be honest, the Red Dead Online mode.
Yeah.
Like I don't
I mean,
know,
that's
like,
the problem when you release something too early. Because remember, it only came out like a month after the game came out.
for sure.
And sometimes it's just better to wait. I mean, I know the game came out, so they still had all that hype, but it's an 80-hour plus campaign, which most people, like, honestly, if I hadn't, I think I ended up doing a spoiler review with Mark. If I hadn't needed to do that review, which, by the way, still took place, I think, 2.5 months after it came out, I would have taken my time with it more and stretched it. It would have been like a, I don't know,
like a 4 month experience.
4 month thing. So then release the online, and then when it's more
and more modes
fleshed
as
out,
well, or something
more fleshed out. So.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Also, you can pay. And like I said, it's free. So you already got your money's worth out of the campaign. The online is just
It's a bonus. Yeah,
it's a bonus. So I don't know. I would have been willing to wait for the online mode and then have it be more fleshed out. I mean, I guess they're trying because didn't GTA Online wasn't that the same way where it wasn't exactly fleshed out when it first came out and they kind of had
It was still popular though.
Yeah.
It definitely had its faults, but it's had way more players, I want to say, than when Red Dead's Online came out. Like they had a lot of problems that they fixed real soon. A lot of hackers, things like that. Not a lot of game modes and things for people to do. But I mean, the lobbies were still popping. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't go do the races or any of the jobs. I would just run around the lobby messing around with people.
Yeah. All right.
Which is a little easier to do in GTA compared to Red Dead because Red Dead would take you forever to get to the other side of the map. GTA, you can just fly there, see the dude, shoot him. Not ready up your bow.
I mean, I played a little of online where you could just do missions. Like me and Caboose did like a mission together online. It was cool.
Red Dead?
The raids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they have it's not a full-on story, right? It's not like a campaign, but they have like a little. I actually complained that the beginning part was a little too story focused because before you start the online, there's a whole good 15-20 minute story part to create your character. Yeah,
that's kind of cool though, actually.
Yeah. So I think at that point, because I'd played 80 hours of the campaign,
You're just more really.
I was like, can I just hop into the online part? But you have to play out this whole little story mode thing first, then you can.
The heists do look fun. Getting together with your friends, go rob a bank, or rob a train.
Yeah. All right. Next on my list is Control. I think I talked about it last week. Been playing that game. I'm still not done, but I'm almost there. I think I think there's 11 levels. I'm on level 8 right now.
Did you buy did you buy it digitally or is it a CD?
I bought the CD.
Oh, bet. Whenever you get to level 11, let your boy know.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
It's awesome.
Okay.
It's so cool. I mean, I'm a big Remedy Entertainment fan. Loved Alan Wake, and then they also did Max Payne, Quantum Break. Controls their games are never super complex when it comes to the gameplay, but they're I don't know. I want to say simple yet deep, where it's you have only a certain amount of things you can do, but then there's complexity in how you kind of manage those things. Because you can, right when I was getting maybe not bored, but became a little repetitive in my gameplay. Then they add another ability, which was now I can levitate. My character can levitate, and you can use telekinesis to pick up stuff and throw it at people. You can do a shield ability. Like, there's all these like different little nuanced things that you can do with your character that just help you. Like, there's this one guy, like I couldn't beat him for the longest time because I wasn't fighting him correctly. I wasn't using the shield, and I thought the shield was useless, to be honest. So I didn't boost it. So they had like all the different, you can boost all your different skill levels and whatnot. And I didn't boost it at all because I was like, I'm not going to use that. And then on that boss, I was like, I actually need to use this thing.
Should have leveled it.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually I used it and I won. And then the next time I got those level up points, I was like, level up this shield. Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Learn from your mistakes. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. You have one gun, but the thing is, the one gun you can upgrade, and then it can do different things. So it's just one gun that can be a shotgun, can be a machine gun, can be a sniper. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I like the story. It's really cool. It's mysterious and whatnot. So I'm definitely. It's my favorite game of the year so far.
Okay.
So
it looks very pretty as well. I've been watching a lot of the gameplay videos. It just looks enjoyable. Like you know what I mean? It's for me. It's the aspect of like very different thing to bring up right now. But the web swinging in Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like there's just a point in time where I just had fun swinging around New York listening to music, and I feel like that's the kind of game with Control where I can just put on some music and just be awesome and have telekinesis for like an hour, you know what I mean?
When you pick up like stuff and then throw it at people,
it looks so
fun.
satisfying.
Yeah, especially if like you throw stuff that is combustible, like you can throw like gas containers or whatnot, and they explode, and it's a lot of mayhem.
So yeah, like the collision and stuff like that looks great.
Yes, because almost every object is like
breakable.
Yeah, breakable, and then you can pick it. Remedy is like Rockstar, where they only make one game at a time. And then they take their time with it. I mean, they don't go 8 years like Rockstar does, but they go 3, 4. I mean, Quantum Break was how many years ago? I think
about 4.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
So they take their time, and before that was Alan Wake, which was like 4. You know what I mean? So they take their time with one franchise to get the controls right,
which has been working for them.
Yeah, so you get the controls right, you get the graphics right. And speaking of the graphics, they did a thing where they showed how on the PC the graphics are actually a lot better because it uses ray tracing with the RTX cards.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely. If you haven't picked it up, I definitely recommend getting it.
That's one of the things I think we didn't talk about with Gears, which is that the graphics aren't. There's nothing particularly too special about the graphics. You know what I mean? But
they look good.
They're more than good enough. You know what I mean? It's we'll see what it looks like on the new Xbox. You know, but other than that, it's more about the gameplay. You know? Yeah, and the story, of course.
Before we get into some questions, there's a couple things that Josh had thrown in there. This one you're gonna have to talk about because I got no clue.
Yeah, well, there's not much to talk about it. It's just it's coming out tomorrow. There's a bit of hype around it among me and a couple of other friends. There's a big expansion coming out to Monster Hunter World, which is honestly,
what's it called?
Monster Hunter World?
No, the DLC.
Iceborne coming out tomorrow.
I remember them promoting it at E3 this year. They had the giant dragon statue and whatnot. Now, forgive me because I don't know much about Monster Hunter.
I never played any of the games before this one, but this one, so honestly, I loved it. Was
that the thing at E3? The dragon thing we did, or we posted?
No. That was something else. That was it. But no. But it was the giant ice dragon statue.
Oh, there was like you could take a picture with it. Oh, this is a long ass line. Couldn't even do it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about now. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
How similar is this to Pokemon?
Not at all.
Okay.
Nothing like Pokemon.
But you're hunting stuff. You're not collecting
but you're killing
stuff.
Them. You're murdering them.
Okay.
You don't get to.
So it's like Pokemon with murder.
You get to collect
take
their
them
fur
home after you beat them. You just leave them there.
You can keep the materials. You can keep their skin. You know?
Okay, so it's a more violent Pokemon. You go find monsters, kill them.
It's a like essentially like a. I mean, it's a.
They're making a movie, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Which got a lot of criticism when they first show the stills, and it was just a bunch of Marines, and they're like, what the hell does this have to do with Monster Hunter World? And then they eventually showed one of the Monster Hunters, and they're like, okay, cool, they still have the big swords, the armor. It's just a group of Marines have been thrown into this world of Monster Hunter.
Okay.
So that's how they kind of balance it out. I think the movie's going to do... I don't know how the movie's going to do. We spoke about this numerous times.
Yeah.
It's all about the fan base.
Is this a live action?
That's a live action,
okay.
yeah.
Is it going to be
the chick from Resident Evil, I think.
Theater released or the...
Probably theater released.
Okay.
This is there's got a couple of big names attached to it for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this Monster Hunter World is essentially a game where you're hunting monsters. Sometimes it can take about up to 2, maybe 3 hours to hunt like one specific monster, whether it's a dragon or anything else. But it's really fun. Like there are.
What do you do along the way of hunting this monster?
It moves around.
Does it like leave droppings on the ground and you like find them?
You're essentially kind of like attacking it until there's a lot of strategy involved with each monster being different and whatnot. But you're eventually attacking it, and then it moves on to a next area. You keep attacking it till eventually it gets to its nest, and then you just... Because it's going to run away every time it gets hurt, you know what I mean? So you're just constantly chasing it and hunting it down while avoiding all the other monsters you're not
do
hunting.
anything bad to you, or do you just come out of the blue and just start hacking?
Oh, yeah, man. You're a hunter.
So he's like innocently like eating some food or taking a rest or a nap.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you're like, bam.
Time to screw this man up.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, there are encounters where like a dragon will show up, and you're like, well, I gotta kill the dragon or I die. You know, for the most part, it's like that. But it's
So the monsters aren't doing anything wrong; they're just chilling.
Essentially, I mean, like.
So you're the antagonist in this game, pretty much.
We're the humans, man. You know what I mean? We're doing what humans do. There is more story to it, like it's been a while since I played it because it came out last year, but there is more story to it than that. But essentially, if you look at it from that perspective, yeah, kind of we are the bad guys, if you will. The expansion takes place after the main story, which is nice. Rather than just adding a new area and adding new monsters, they actually created a whole narrative around it. So a whole new frozen area. From what I've been reading, a lot of the new monsters have a lot of the same animations as the previous monsters. Which makes sense to me in terms of longevity and pumping out new things, but they'll change up certain things, like may have the same animations as the mud monster that I can never pronounce its name, like Gyarados or something like that. It's spelled weird. Essentially, they have a similar one, but instead of coating itself with mud, it coats itself with ice. And the game is all about preparation, like in terms of hunting. Like you have to do so much preparation for the monster you're going to hunt. It's very rewarding as well, especially when you're playing with a group of like 4 friends and you're just messing up like a Rathian or something. Loads of fun. So I'm happy that they've added a whole new area and more monsters. Like I'm gonna get back into it. I haven't played it since I finished the game, so it's gonna be nice to get right back into it. And it's a very satisfying game if you haven't played it, in the sense of the same reason people like looter shooters. You like to play the game and unlock new loot. It's the same thing. You want to keep hunting the next monster. And you want to hunt enough of that monster to unlock all your sets of armor. You just want to get the next set of armor. Not only because it's stronger, but just because it looks cooler. Like it's almost, that's the pushing point for me, is I just want the next armor because it looks so cool. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend the next couple hours hunting this freaking thing. Yeah, I like it. It's a beautiful world. Each area that they've created is fairly large. This new one's pretty big as well. So that's nice about it. I'm looking forward to it, to get back into it, which is cool.
Is this a purchase?
Yeah,
DLC?
this will be for what they're adding. It has to be. I don't know how much they're charging for it, but
take a
yeah.
look. Is this a PlayStation exclusive?
No, I don't.
It's
think.
Capcom.
Yeah, I think it's on
Iceborne $40, so it's
makes sense.
So it's a pretty hefty. It's got to be a pretty hefty update.
But it is like the first big update. I want to say. I think they had one other one, but this one's the biggest update they've had.
Does look dope. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Capcom.
I mean, I've got it on disc if you ever want to borrow it and play it. Yeah, it's loads of fun.
All right.
Single
for a PlayStation.
Yeah.
All right. I guess one time.
One time. Yeah.
One time.
Yeah. Well, you can see if you like it. If you like it, you can get the. They're probably gonna release the expansion with the game.
So this is
on,
the expansion for the game you have now.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And you need the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You need the base game, which like goes for like at GameStop like $17, $16 secondhand. Yeah, not too shabby. I'd imagine they're probably going to release like a bundle where you can get them together.
Yeah.
So you can try it out on PlayStation and hop over to Xbox and buy it. It's also on PC.
Okay. All right, the last topic we've got, NBA 2K20. It's coming out this Friday.
Tomorrow, yeah. The 6th of September.
Yeah. And has gambling-like mechanics in it.
Which is crazy because, the president of publishing said that they don't view the card packs and loot boxes as gambling. Now, if you know what I'm talking about for card packs, it's similar to like FIFA Ultimate Team or any of the EA games in that sense. But they specifically said they're like, no, we don't view this as gambling. Then they released this trailer, which is pretty much showing.
Oh, there's slot machines in it.
There's pachinko machines in it. There's even like a prize wheel spin. You know what I mean? Like
It is so Las Vegas.
It's almost similar to GTA's Lost update, where they just blatantly were like, here's a gambling update, own your own casino. You know.
So you have to buy these packs, right? These player packs, but you don't know what's in them. They're just like loot boxes.
Surprise mechanics.
You open it up, and then you're hoping to get LeBron James, but you could get whoever.
And the only thing they've done now, they just dressed it up to make it look more like gambling, which is hilarious because before that it looked less like gambling. But you're essentially doing the same thing. And a lot of the things that they've added in this has been in other games before, but they're putting more emphasis on it. And it's almost like you're playing less NBA. You're playing less basketball than you are playing slot machines, you know?
And you're just trying to build your team. It's called My Team or whatever.
Yeah, building your team, which is similar to Ultimate Team with the EA games, I don't know, man. It's just, I find it's so hypocritical to like say like, no, we don't consider it gambling. And then they're like, it's almost like a slap in the face. They're like, you know what, we've been getting away with it, so let's make it look like
straight up with the sounds and the looks. I mean, pull the lever.
And a lot of companies, sorry, not companies, a lot of countries who are against gambling in games like this, that usually ban video games for having this, are not banning it for some reason. And there's some research I need to do into that as to why. Maybe there's some extra stuff going around. Because, I mean, how does EA specifically, I mean, EA being a huge company for sports in terms of gaming, even though they're getting a lot of backlash in the gaming community, they're still killing it for money with all their sport games. And they're not going to take any of those surprise mechanics away anytime soon.
They make too much money off of it.
They make way too much money off of it. So surely...
But they're getting more pushback on that from like Star Wars fans, Anthem fans, versus the sports fans who are just like, totally whatever.
Okay with it. They're so okay with, I mean, like, even Jack, he's okay for it. He's like, drop some money, get some card packs, man. You know?
Man. I mean, I haven't played 2K in a minute, but this kind of makes me want to actually like
go gamble.
I want to just get it just to
get your gambling high.
Spend a little money. Like I'm not going to actually go out and gamble in real life. So if I'm gonna do it somewhere, I might as well just do it in 2K.
You know, it's funny that we bring this up now. It's something that just came to mind is when it comes to these like surprise mechanics and you're buying a pack and there's a specific chance of you getting certain stuff and you won't get other stuff. I think of like booster packs for card games in the 2000s, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Would that have counted as gambling? Because you're buying these expansion packs.
No, but you're physically getting something out of it.
I mean... They're like at the same time, like let's say, because I go buy like Yu-Gi-Oh mainly. I never really bought the Pokemon cards, but Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You find me at the store like every other weekend.
Getting
like you never, packs, but you never know. Like you're just trying to build up your deck, but like you're hoping for like a rare exclusive, and you get like 4 shitty ones in one. But like I don't know if I can consider that gambling because it's like you're.
But you see, like, because I can see that very similar to card packs.
Similar,
and I also don't consider that gambling. So I can also see how they can kind of twist this in their favor.
It's
similar,
I mean? But then at the same time, in order, like, when you're talking about NBA 2K20, like, you still have to buy the game. You're buying the game, and then on top of that, you're like with those packs, right? You're just buying the pack of cards.
Yeah, and you're building like you're still
getting stuff. You're still getting cards.
Off of that. You're not never going to get not trash with that. Exactly, but like with this, you're not sure. But I don't know. That's a weird that's a weird comparison. But I could see what you're saying because I went ham with.
I do see how they get away with. I don't know about some of the other stuff. If there's surely there's. I mean, reading up on it with like the prize wheel spins, most of the companies get away with this because you're paying for it and you're getting something. You may not be getting what you want, but you're getting something. It'd be a lot more messed up if you paid for like a chance to play the slot machine and you got nothing.
Yeah,
that would be straight up gambling.
Yeah, but and also, can you trade these cards with people?
I had never played much NBA 2K,
Okay,
but
I'm wondering.
I would imagine.
Can you do
so.
that in EA? Can you trade? Like, if you and Jack are playing FIFA, and he gets a
I'm pretty certain because I think that's
player
how,
that
I think that's
you
how people
want-
can
you
sell
want.
cards. So like if you unlock like
See, this is
something
where the
epic and
digital
legendary,
currency
Where you
comes
can sell
into.
the cards.
I would imagine like there's got to be some kind, or you probably sell your account. That's
Who would
like,
make the money?
You go onto GameExchange.org.
What?
Yeah, dude, yeah, GameExchange.org. Check it out if you get the chance. That's where people sell all their in-game items.
Because I remember
Yeah,
at a time,
wild.
World of Warcraft, they were selling like World of
You could
Warcraft
sell accounts.
currency and accounts, but like actually there was people that were mining World of Warcraft.
Is that legal?
They were doing it like in China,
Oh.
and then they were selling that the gold basically you earn in World of Warcraft to, us spoiled Americans. That had
Wait, so
money.
is that site legal? Like,
Well, I mean, as far as I know, at the end of the day, it's a private exchange. I mean, I've seen people sell Fortnite accounts. You know what I mean? Because it's
it's like selling a Twitter account or
you
something. but
you
yeah, I
can't
guess.
get something if there is something exclusive to season 1 and 2, and you're playing now in season whatever they're on. You're not going to get that stuff from season 1 and 2 unless you buy someone else's account. You know, like some people really want John Wick as a playable character in Fortnite, so they'll buy someone else's account who has it.
It's not that serious, bro. But damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, man. So I remember like a lot of people made money
Hey,
from
maybe I'll
Diablo
start-
that way.
Start selling in-game stuff instead of telling them.
See, for me, it's like I don't mind buying cosmetic stuff if that's what I want, but I want to pay and get what I want, right? Like I want this skin or I want this whatever, and then
Which I guess if there's something specific you want and it's a surprise mechanic, like they're calling it, you could probably go on GameExchange.org and then buy the actual thing at whatever it's the price is worth. It'll probably be more though than the
oh, for sure, because you're
Yeah.
getting specifically.
You're specifically-
I mean, to be
yeah.
honest, I mean that happens with the mystery minis. The Funko mystery minis. Like,
Oh yeah.
they have rare ones too, and it's like, well, it costs let's say $7 or $8 to buy one, but you have no clue what's inside. But there's people online selling the specific rare ones or the ones that you
For, like,
want
way
for a little,
more, yeah.
way more. Like I remember about Rick and Morty ones, and I won Squanch, but.
Oh my God, Squanch.
Yeah, but it did not get him.
I mean, yeah,
because-
some of the knives on Counter-Strike go for so much money. You know,
Yeah.
if you get like a certain rare knife, you just sell it for like $250, easy.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, the amount of money you probably put into getting that, unless you were really lucky on a draw.
All right, that's it for topics. Do we have any Twitter questions?
Yeah, we got a couple here.
Okay.
So I'll start off with Mario Rogers. He asked, what 2 video game franchise do you see being part of a live-action series on the streaming service? I got Assassin's Creed and Crash Bandicoot. Those are his, not mine.
Okay. I mean, Assassin's Creed
Yeah, I don't know.
can't get any worse than that movie. So,
I thought it was decent.
oh man, that's terrible.
I
Saw
think
it when I
that's
was
something
going
that
to
could
France, so I saw that.
like. I saw there was a web series that I freaking loved that came out before the movie. I think they really did.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
I forgot what it was called. It was 4 parts though, and they
Sure,
felt
I guarantee it's better than the movie.
it was. I loved it, man. They had like great parkour in it as well.
Parkour.
But it was also set, and it had some great locations. I don't know how they got around filming it with permits and stuff, because the historical locations.
Like running around, like
But,
ancient historic
yeah.
places, like ruining all the buildings.
But so like I think that could work quite well as a live action.
That's your choice?
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are just me commenting on the 2
Yeah.
that he suggested. Crash Bandicoot. I mean, I can see that getting a great CGI kind of like
I don't know, that
like
sounds
children's
terrifying.
show or something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think if we're talking franchises that I want to see a live action of, let's see. I mean, Final Fantasy is already getting one. That would have been my go-to, but they're already getting a live action, which is awesome. I don't know.
I think I've said this a long time ago, but I think the Infamous series that'd be good.
That would be
That'd
really
be an
good.
easy one to do.
That'd be a good movie,
live
actually.
I think so, but I don't know. I could see a movie or a TV show either, or like a 10-part. You make it an anthology.
I could see I
anthology
could straight up see a
series.
trilogy movie if the first movie does well, just because it's. I mean, people love
I've been
superhero
pitching that
movies,
for
and
years.
he's a
Nobody
very,
wants to take my script.
It's a very
that I haven't
original-
wrote
From your
work on that.
mind.
from my mind. Yeah.
think about. I said this in a couple podcasts ago, but I would love to see a Borderlands series. like just some straight up chaotic like series from
I feel like
Borderlands.
that'd be dope as hell.
That would be really cool to see.
Probably
yeah.
expensive, seeing all that shit, but I think it would be dope.
Oh yeah, a lot of practical effects. You can spend a lot of money on costume and practical effects for that, which is cool.
What about you, Dennis?
I mean, I'd go with Alan Wake. Alan Wake, they basically, in that game, they separated it instead of levels. They were called episodes, and there were 6 episodes. So they made it, and each end of each episode had like a cliffhanger type ending, and then it would
so that would work really well then, yeah.
Yeah, there was something very television episodic about it, so I could see that. They also, like you mentioned with Assassin's Creed, I think that was probably a fan made one or something like that.
It was fan made. Yeah.
There was an official Alan Wake web series that was a prequel to the game, and it was very well done. It was professionally done. I think it was like, I think 4 or 5 episodes, and about 10 minutes apiece. But like they shot on nice cameras, good acting, lots of production value to it. Yeah. So I definitely could see that. And then also, that game definitely is inspired heavily by Twin Peaks, and Twin Peaks is a cult television classic. Yeah. Also, a pioneer in the television game. By the way, we're making a Twin Peaks VR game. It's coming out on HTC Vive and Oculus Rift, and we're looking to Oculus Quest as well. So that's one. Another one, I mean, we already have a Halo TV series coming out. I mean, a Fallout series would be awesome.
Are they doing that Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah. They've been the casting has been on a roll.
Oh, right. Didn't Ludi Lin just get casted?
He got cast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I literally saw the breakdowns for it. I forgot.
Yeah, I think
Sub-Zero, Scorpion. I forgot.
Sub-Zero.
Okay.
And then they haven't cast Scorpion, but then Louis Tan is playing an undisclosed role, but it's the lead role. Mm-hmm. So they haven't told us who he's playing.
I know they were looking for Australian martial artists. I know they were looking specifically for that. I saw a casting for that. I don't know who's Australian martial artist.
I don't know who else they've cast. Melina, they've cast Shang Tsung, they've cast Sub-Zero, they've cast Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember if I think they've cast Sonya Blade as well. I can't remember the actress who plays her.
I would imagine they probably want Australian martial artists just because part of it could be filmed in Australia.
Probably. I mean, probably makes sense. And then besides Mortal Kombat, sorry, got off topic. I think so. Instead of doing the movie with Tom Holland, let's just do a series. You can do 3 or 4 seasons.
Uncharted series.
Yeah. Maybe like one.
It's gonna be older Nathan Drake.
Did you see the Nathan Fillion?
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah. I want to see a series like that. Yeah.
All right, next, we got 2 more. All right, Sean Camo says, do you think EA will bring anything else besides FIFA to the Switch? And another question they also ask is, do you think Sony officially announces PS5 late this year or early next year?
The second part of that question is a good question.
What do you don't think?
So no, after Christmas, because they don't want to kill the sales of anything. They still want people buying systems and buying games.
PS4 Pro.
So they'll announce, I say,
early next year.
Early next year.
Yeah, either that or I guess E3 if they
want. Well, E3 they'll make the big announcement. I think leaks will start coming out.
For sure.
It's not like we don't know it's coming.
I mean, it has to. They have to meet like.
They're already talking about tests. They're already talking about testing.
They have to meet Microsoft's deadline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be competitive.
So, yeah, I think of that. And the first part was...
Do you think that EA will bring anything else besides FIFA to the Switch?
Probably all their sport games.
Well, didn't they say something about not bringing things to the Switch? I remember they said something which was weird because I thought it's perfect for the Switch. Mm-hmm. They were talking about something about the gamers don't want to play their games on the Switch. And it's like, really? Because I could see people playing soccer, football... everything on the Switch.
I see FIFA and the NFL games doing very well on the Switch.
Yeah, that's PSP. One of my favorite games used to be NFL Street. So you can.
Oh, dude, NFL Street 2.
Yeah, dude, you can do something like that on the
What a
Nintendo.
Good game, man.
Hey, take our ideas, please.
Man, what a good game.
And then also,
how many cameos did that game have?
Like
They had Exhibit,
black,
Snoop
they had like all
Dogg.
the old school black rappers.
They had Nelly.
I saw like a tweet recently. They were like they need to do a remake of that, just like with all the new school rappers and like all. I think that would be dope.
Same with FIFA Street 2. I've been talking to Jack
I haven't
about
played
that.
I haven't played FIFA Street.
FIFA Street 2 and NFL Street 2 are two of my favorite games of all time.
I haven't played the whatchamacallit, the FIFA ones.
Even the NBA Street games were sick as well.
I haven't played those.
So the EA games. FIFA 18, FIFA 19, FIFA 20, Unravel 2, and...
Are these the games that are going on Switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's this game? FE? F-E?
Yeah, FE. I don't know much about that.
That's the only games that are officially either available or will be available.
Well, the FIFA selection makes sense because they're offering up the Journey trilogy, which was, 19, 18... No, 20, 19, and 18. The trilogy for the My Journey story, which is quite a cool story where you feel surrounding Alex Hunter, like this footballer. You kind of start him off from the beginning, and he has like a nice story behind it.
FIFA and storylines? Oh, what?
I mean, doesn't and I think NFL also has
Oh,
a story.
yeah, Madden has like,
Madden has a story.
Did that thing with Idris Elba that just came out recently?
For Madden?
Was it Madden or maybe it was... Let me look at it. There was like this one like... I think it was Madden. It was like every time I come in this room, the internet just like goes.
Just fuck.
Yeah.
Seems like no, we're out.
All right. Well, Dennis is looking that up. We got two more. Oh, I guess Joel just snuck one in here. Okay. Let me do. All right. First name is Agent. That's her name. So what do you think is the greatest console controller ever designed? I personally go with the SE NES controller, as every controller that came out after was derivative of it to some degree.
For sure. I actually read this comment earlier on, and I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. And even though I never had an Xbox 360, for some reason I really enjoy the Xbox 360 controller. The triggers are very satisfying for me on that. And then it's because we're talking specifically just console controllers. And I guess you got like the old school. You still got the old school I forget what they're called. The gamepads with the joystick and the buttons. Those are quite good, quite cool too for fighting games.
Yeah, for fighting games, those are great.
And then I
don't know, GameCube. I really like that controller.
Oh yeah, I never had a GameCube. What did the controller look like?
It's weird.
It looked
was
like
it the one with the three?
No, it's like a regular, like feels like a regular controller, just like normal size, and that you like.
Oh, I remember the buttons.
It feels it feels like the same like the same type of shape like the PS4 or Xbox type of controller.
So this is it. It's for NBA 2K. So he plays coach. So like.
Oh yeah, because there's a story mode for that too. Yeah.
Our audio fans, we were watching a trailer from the NBA 2.
Okay, so they made this like short film called Coach, and Rosario Dawson's in it.
Oh damn,
So
that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah. So it's like almost like its own like short film.
So there's a great story mode for you guys to enjoy when you're not gambling.
As far as controllers,
on 2K,
I've always been partial to the Xbox controllers. Actually, one of the main reasons that I have Xbox over PlayStation is I like the controllers better. Back in the first Xbox, I don't know if you remember, they had the big giant one that wasn't that great.
That one, yeah.
That was a little too big. And then actually they stole the smaller design from the Japanese controllers because Japan had the smaller controllers.
I didn't know that.
The first Xbox like sold nothing in Japan because Microsoft wasn't in Japan, like it was like Nintendo and Sony and whatever.
And also
even Sega didn't do that well over there.
The first Xbox came out around the same time as the PS2, right? Just before or just after.
Yeah.
And the PS2 was record-breaking sales. Like when the PS2 came out, that was phenomenal compared to any other console launch before that.
Yeah, so it's definitely the Xbox controller.
That's what I was saying as well. I enjoy the Xbox controllers.
I don't know because I don't have a PS4, but I do have a PS3. On my PS3, I hate the directional controller, D-pad.
Oh, the D-pad?
It's terrible.
It's pretty much the exact same with PS4.
I don't know.
It's terrible.
If I'm picking between the PS4 controller and the Xbox One controller I have now, I think I'd probably pick the PS4 controller.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it about it?
I don't know. I think the controls are better in my opinion. I still love the Xbox One controller. I still love Xbox. But I think
the Xbox Elite controllers, I'm not going to lie, that one's really nice. That one feels good.
Well, I mean, that's a $200 controller.
My pocket doesn't have that.
That's not fair to compare.
Yeah, I can't compare that. I wouldn't know.
But yeah, I just whenever I play that D-pad, man, and not that I use the D-pad a lot, but like I'm playing Control right now, and you need to use the D-pad to bring up your map, or you want to do certain things. You still have to click, and it just, to me, I hate the PlayStation.
I hated the D-pad on the Xbox 360 controller. Hated the D-pad on that because it wasn't you didn't have individual buttons. It was just one kind of big button. You know what I mean? But funny enough, that's still one of my favorite controllers just because of the way it feels in my hand and the triggers.
Oh, that's
it.
Yeah, because Blade JTER asked a question, but we kind of already covered it about the firstly main person stuff about Cyberpunk. We already talked about that. Yeah. But thanks for asking that question, though. So
cool. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the Collider Games podcast. Thanks for listening. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is better than The Office. And then you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks.
Josh?
You guys can find me on Instagram, and that's at josh.toki.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram, dennis.tzng. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games. And also subscribe to our Collider Factory feed for this podcast every single week. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.